we're moving on. I'm going to upload a track. I'm going to upload a music track. Let's think. What can I upload? I don't know. Something old or something new. Let's do something old. Let's go. Let's try and catch it out. Right. Okay. Right. Here we go. This is a track of mine called Loops and Scales. So I'm just going to switch the audio over. Putting on headphones is a shame, so I can hear what I'm doing. All right. I might shout a bit now. Loops and Scales, and it sounds like this. Sounds like that. That's a copyright claim. I'm going to get claimed by me. Weird, isn't it? And it goes on to sound like this. It's a really good fun song. But what we're going to do is we're going to upload that into Suno and let it create something of its own. I've not done this before for this one. It takes a bit of time, so talk amongst yourselves. Andrew says Beatles. No, you can't do that. You can't upload other people's music. It will say naughty, and you can't say, can you make it sound like the Beatles? I guess you'd have to say things like, could you create this so it sounded like something from this? I've not really tried that. I tried to make it sound like something from the 60s, psychedelic, and it just broke it. It didn't sound particularly psychedelic with the song that I'd uploaded. So I don't think it's that smart. But you know, we'll get there in a minute. Anyway, so I'm just gonna remix. I'm just pulling this up. Add the persona of my band, EchoNet. I'm going to create 2 remixes of it. It's really boring to look at. You know, it doesn't really show much. It's not, you know, it's quite boring. And look, it creates a little bit of artwork for you, huh? Just in case. But you get an idea. And what it does, it says zoom it in. Zoom. Is it creates 2 versions, 2 mixes. So I'm going to see what one sounds like. Yeah? Let's see what the other mix sounds like. Oh! Yeah. Oh. Anyway, cuts out there because it hasn't quite processed the whole thing. But yeah, that's what it does. That's what it does. I don't know, Mister. You can, I don't know, do it, find out. I don't know, go on there yourself and do it. I didn't really ask it to do that because it's. That's not really what we're trying to do. But yeah, you could create a band that sounds like that. You wanted to do it in the Georgian folk version because that's something. Well, okay. Well, I'll entertain you. But it cost me credits to do this, so I really don't appreciate. I really don't appreciate your thing. So let me just change the style. I'm going to say Baroque. Oh, Baroque classical music style with harpsichord. What else would you have? Right, I've just typed in Baroque classical music style with harpsichord, cello, violin, and piano and light percussion. See if it can do anything. I'm gonna increase the weirdness quotient because you can actually do that up to 75%. I'm going to see what it creates using this. This is the same track, loops and scales, but we're going a bit weird with it. All right, we'll see. We'll entertain Mr. Ray says I'm still confused. Me too. I'm confused too. So we'll see. We'll see if it does anything interesting here. Let's see. Oh, have I got out on the screen? Yes, I have. Oops. Excuse me. Oh no, don't want to do that. Stupid Apple. Has any of it rendered yet? And then the drums come in. That's the first mix. Let's see what the second one sounds like. You get the idea. It's I call it magic mirror music. It's like you feed stuff in, and weird stuff comes out. And like I said, I've been having a great time loading old stuff that I've got in there and new stuff too, just to see what it can do. And like I said, feeding old lyrics into it and creating new things. Can I do a death metal sound? Okay, let's try it with a death metal sound. Okay, I'll entertain you. Let's see. So how would you describe? Because you've got to give it some detail. Let's say I'm going to go to Grok to ask for a musical definition of death metal. You know, how would you describe death metal in terms of musical production and instrumentation? We'll load Grok into it. Okay. It's given me Grok has given me an awful big definition there. So I'm going to say, can you reduce this description into something that I can use in Suno to create a AI death metal band? Okay. It says to use this. Bloody hell. Okay. So I'm going to use that in my description. And oops, where are we? I'm going to hit remix and see what comes out. And wait for the death metal version of Loops and Scales. Just literally, I could spend a fortune just arsing around with this day in and day out. I mean, I've not been doing death metal editions, but just to put songs in and just say remix this and just change the sliders somewhat, and see what it spits out at you. I mean, it even does a little graphic for you. Intense. Let's try the other one. Or like the graphic for that. There you go. It can do that. It can do anything. Oh yeah. So yeah, there's no point in doing anything ever again. Where are we? Mr. says, is this how the Beatles did Eleanor Rigby? Yeah, it's exactly how they did it. What happened is George Martin pulled up he brought in his laptop, his MacBook Pro, and McCartney said, been in the cemetery. Ooh, he found a name, and they put it in. It spat out the lyrics, and that's it. I mean, originally it was going to be a country and western version. I was going to do Eleanor Rigby as a country and western song, but they decided against it. They went for the string edition. But yeah, so if you do anything creative, just stop. Sell your guitars, sell your keyboards, sell your drum kits, sell everything, for you are no longer needed, you're no longer required. And know your enemy. I think it's really interesting, because if you do load your own music in, you can create other things and make different alternative versions of whatever it is you're doing. And I had a great time messing around with it and getting it to do all sorts of things. And it even creates little graphics for your cover. It's like, what the yay. So I actually uploaded it. Like I say, I created an album of this stuff. Mine's a very specific description about being like kind of a British British indie band sort of thing, with guitars and synthesizers and whatnot. And but it can't quite do British accents, so there's kind of a pseudo British kind of thing going on there when the guy sings. But it's very, very compelling. It's it's a fascinating thing, and this is going to get even more powerful. This is the frightening thing, is it's going to get even more powerful. But on the flip side of it, I think it's got some very interesting arrangement options there, because say you've got a song, and it's just, I actually did it. There was a song I had which was just it existed as a drums, bass, guitar, vocals song when I first recorded it back in the old days, back when I had a 4-track, about 94, whenever it was. Might have been before that, might be 92. Oh, whatever. But anyway, I recorded this song. It's not very good. None of my stuff is very good back then. It's still not very good. Still not very good now, after hearing what the AI can do. But I had this version of it that I'd done, which was just the guitar. It was stripped down, just guitar and vocals, because it was fairly clean. I didn't want any kind of drum or bass part on it. I just wanted the guitar and the vocals. And I loaded that in, and it created a version which was, the vocally quite close to what I'd done before, and that was frightening. It was frightening, because I'd intended it to sound a bit kind of like Pearl Jammy back in the day, and that's what came out. And you go, wow, that's just frightening. But I could see it being used. I could use it. There was one song that it did, and I didn't think much of the guitar parts, so I loaded the stems into Logic and stripped those out and re-recorded it, and created a song which was, again you can do that. You can download the stems and you can knock out the bass or the guitars or whatever, keep the drums, and just record yourself over it. And so you can load something in that's a bit unfinished, it creates something that's finished, then you can strip away bits and add your own humanity to it. That I find has great potential, especially if you're on your own recording. I haven't got anyone to bounce ideas off. AI could be my new kind of co-writer, and I find that quite tantalising thing to do. But it's a bit scary. It's a bit scary that this thing exists, and it's only on version 4.5 at the moment. So when it comes to, this is 4.5 plus beta. You know. Oh, it's gone up to max 8 minutes. Oh, I thought it was 5 minutes. There you go. So yeah, there you go. Suno. Give it. I'm sure there's free. I'm paying. I bought a subscription just to play around with it because you know it's great fun, especially if you do music. You know, Rene, you might want to load some of your things in that you do, and see what it spits out. You know, it's got a great potential for mayhem. Ovi says, "Hi Dan, I just tried Suno, and for lyrics I copied and pasted the chat from tonight's forum. It sounded great, good fun. Andrew Kosnick has a nice voice." You see, this is the thing: is you can turn anything now into anything. And like you said, over. By the way, those lyrics copyright are mine because it's my live chat. So come on, hand over the money. But no, Over's done a great. That's a good example of what you can do. Is you can literally take anything, you know, and load it in there, and it will turn it into a song. And that is the crazy. And again, you can give it a quite a detailed description, like we did for the death metal thing. And again, with the Baroque classical, I could have gone more deep. I could have, you know, I should have. You can write a really long description of what you want it to sound like, and the more detail, obviously, the better. The better it becomes. But it is just crazy. Andrew says, actually, I do have a nice voice. Oh, they're hitting on each other. There we go. We've got a little bit of romance in the chat room there for once. But yeah, give it a go. Go and play with it. You know, you can't like put like the Beatles in there, and or maybe you can. I don't know. You can't put proper songs in, but you can put my songs in and play with them. In fact, if you've got any of my songs and you want to play around with them in Suno, you have my permission. But don't publish them. Rene says, you have the nicest voice on earth, Andrew. It's a three-way. We've got a three-way between Andrew, Ove, and Rene. And that's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. You know, love knows no bounds, even in the group chat. It's getting hot and heavy. It's getting hot and heavy. I bring love. I bring love to the world. And crazy musical remixes, but yeah, it's really something else. I like the idea of maybe, you know, getting drums out of this or something, you know, putting some drum stuff in and maybe getting it to chop and change stuff, you know, randomized drum parts, and you know, making it sound human. I don't know if you can get like the MIDI data out of this yet though. I think it's all just like audio stems, but if you could say, they're all loved up in the chat if you're following, but if you could get like MIDI out of it, I think that would be really, really interesting. Again, I've just been playing around. I've not gone in too deep, you know. But if it could actually, you know, save the bits as MIDI data, that give you even more flexibility. I'm thinking more along like the drums and the synthesizer parts. That could be something quite remarkable, but I don't think it allows you to do that. It only allows you to get the stems. So yeah, know your enemy.